Letting people die of drug ODs on the sidewalk, that's compassion? No, it's
That
not.
whole thing is fucking crazy.
Well, it's cruelty, actually.
It is. And it's also when you find... Do you know who Carlson Noir is?
I know him.
Yeah, great guy. He opened my eyes to the homelessness thing. We had him on the podcast, and he was explaining how he was in San Francisco, and he was like, what is this? Is like, they don't have any money for this? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like, no. There's a whole business behind it.
Of course.
And these people that are running this homelessness initiative or whatever the fuck they call it, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Some of them $250,000 a year.
Imagine making money off the homeless.
And not doing a goddamn thing.
But what's so funny is I do think the root of their power and the one thing they're good at is just charging the moral high ground and taking it in the first moments of the battle.
Yeah.
They just run up to the moral high ground and are like, we've got this is ours. And they'll protect that at all costs. And it's like, that's kind of all they have is this self-righteousness. And if you can puncture that, it's like you're getting rich from the homeless, actually.
Yeah.
And is there anything more disgusting than that? It's some junkie who's dying in misery outside the convention center in San Francisco, and you're making money on that?
They're essentially using those people as a battery to expand the power of government.
Yeah, and their own personal advantage.
Yeah, they're expanding government. They're making more government employees. Now there's tons of people that are working on the homelessness problem, air quotes. And, they probably all have blue hair and they talk nonsense. And nothing's getting done. And no one's being punished for it. But when they did that study where they said that they had no data, like, how are you... What? You can't say whether or not it's doing anything?
Yeah.
How'd you spend $24 billion?
But why are they not treated as like the most reprehensible people in our society?
I think there's too many things to think about.
Yeah.
And I think most people, unlike you and I, aren't even paying attention to it. They're paying attention to the fact that the tents are there. They're paying attention to if you go to Los Angeles, it's a fucking zombie apocalypse. But what they're not paying attention to is what is going on. How many people are making money? I didn't even know until Carlson explained it to us. I had no idea. I thought it was just they don't have any money. They don't put any money in it, and they let these people sleep there.
Oh, no.
No, there's actual
there are
money.
all these parasites.
Yeah,
No.
parasites, government parasites.
Of course.
Those are real.
Of course.
And, this whole idea of I've created so many jobs. Like, what jobs? Are they government jobs that are just bullshit? Because there's a lot of those.
What's crazy to me, just having spent most of my life in Washington, is how close this is to the lawmakers physically. So the U.S. Capitol sits across from something called Union Station, which is a really beautiful train station, right on Capitol Hill. And so to get into the Capitol, when there's a massive homeless city there, people dying of drug ODs right there. And so to get to work every day, lawmakers have to step over the bodies of fellow Americans dying, living outdoors, shitting in the bushes, addicted to drugs, which is hell, okay? And they have to ignore that on their way to creating utopia in some foreign country. And you're like, does it ever occur to you that that's disgusting? That your primary duty is to the drug addict, your fellow American, you're doing nothing? And you're telling me how we're going to make Eastern Europe into, this brave new world? I don't know. I just can't get past that. I think I'm not super sensitive or aware or anything. I'm not super anything, really. I'm pretty ordinary, but I think I would notice. I would. So I was like walking into vote on Ukraine aid. I'd be like, shit, there are 5 junkies on the street. Like, maybe we should do something for them? No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's bizarre that they can rationalize it, or at least that they don't get called out by all their people. And this idea that it's compassionate, that you have compassion to leave these people and to give them aid and to help them and give them clean needles.
But then you've got to think, maybe there's something bigger going on, actually. Because there's an entire sector of the economy now that feeds off of human misery. The drug treatment centers that don't work, the homeless advocates who create more homeless, the, migrant workers, American-born aid agencies, workers who, increase illegal immigration and gang activity. No, this is all this, people are making money off this. The arms manufacturers that help kill people in foreign countries, et cetera, et cetera. There's a vig in all of that. It's a scam, it's a grift, et cetera, et cetera. But there's something more. There are a lot of people who seem to be just for evil for its own sake. And you're like, maybe all the crazy talk about a spiritual war of good and evil maybe there's something to that. Maybe that's not an illusion. Maybe that's like everyone else has always thought that. Maybe
there are certainly forces that have evil consequences that exist.
But they act on people from the outside. And you feel it also on the other side. I mean, people are better than they naturally are sometimes. Like you feel compassion for people or true empathy for someone, or you really want to help someone. There's no advantage to you at all. Like, why are you doing that? It's almost like you're being acted on by good. And all of us have known those moments where we just are cruel for the sake of it, hurt someone for the sake of it. What's that? There's no advantage to us. That's evil acting on us. And I think we're seeing it at scale. And like, I grew up in the most secular world you could ever grow up in, Southern California in the 70s and 80s, and in a very secular family. And I've never really paid much attention to that. And all of a sudden, not everyone, a lot of people I know who had similar childhoods to mine, similar life experiences, are like, maybe there is like a supernatural realm. Maybe there's more than just like what we can see and feel. Maybe life is more than just ordering shit on Amazon. Maybe there's like a purpose. Maybe there is this battle between good and evil around us that we can't see, but that we do experience a lot.